The true measure of courage is not found in the absence of fear, but in the decision to act despite it. This idea lies at the heart of these narratives, which explore the journeys of individuals who transformed personal anguish and moral outrage into a powerful catalyst for action. Their stories are not about superhuman strength, but about the very human choice to stand firm when everything seems designed to make them fall. They are modern-day parables of resilience, each protagonist a solitary figure choosing to face a gathering storm, not with the certainty of victory, but with the conviction that to do nothing is a greater defeat. The first story is a mother's journey through unimaginable grief into a fierce advocacy. When her daughter's life is claimed by the opioid epidemic following a prescribed medication, the initial devastation slowly morphs into a determined campaign. This fight is not a dramatic, single-handed takedown of a corporate giant, but a grueling, years-long march of small, painful steps. It involves speaking to reporters, connecting with other grieving families, and lobbying lawmakers in quiet rooms. The victories are incremental, a change in policy allowing life-saving medication to be carried by first responders, a seat at a national address to acknowledge the crisis. The battle is far from over, a reminder that some Goliaths are hydras, requiring persistent, relentless effort rather than a single stone. Her strength is forged in the love for her daughter and the hope that others might be spared the same fate, proving that a legacy of love can fuel a lifetime of advocacy. Another tale shifts to the digital frontier, where a visionary's early insight clashes with institutional arrogance. As a tech-savvy television personality, he recognizes the potential of the nascent internet and secures domain names, including that of his powerful employer. When the corporation later realizes the value of what it once ignored, it responds not with negotiation but with legal force. The confrontation is less about the domain itself and more about the principle of the matter, the bullying tactics of a behemoth. The decision to fight back is almost instinctual, a refusal to be intimidated. The resolution, while private, underscores a potent lesson. Authority does not automatically equate to righteousness, and sometimes, standing your ground is its own reward. In a telling contrast, the same individual willingly gives away another valuable domain when approached with respect, highlighting that the true conflict often stems not from a demand, but from the demeaning manner in which it is delivered. The third account delves into the toxic heart of political power, where a culture of fear protects a popular leader. A simple, candid tweet from a former aide becomes the first crack in a carefully maintained facade. Coming forward with allegations of harassment is an act of immense personal risk, inviting not just denial but a coordinated campaign of character assassination from the governor's powerful inner circle. The struggle here is against a dual foe, the individual perpetrator and the enabling system that silences victims. The whistleblower's courage is amplified as it inspires others to share their stories, creating a chorus that can no longer be dismissed. This story illustrates that toppling a giant often requires a collective sling. The first voice creates space for the second, and together they build a wave of truth that even the most fortified walls cannot withstand. On the front lines of a global pandemic, a nurse's battle is against chaos, scarcity, and sheer exhaustion. Volunteering in an overwhelmed city, she confronts a nightmare of inadequate supplies, overflowing wards, and relentless loss. The enemy is faceless and vast, a systemic failure meeting a biological threat. Her heroism is found in the daily grind of showing up, of holding a hand when no cure is available, of bearing witness to so much death. The trauma follows her home, a psychological and physical shadow. Her revelation is not one of grand triumph, but of profound, hard-won perspective. She learns the fragile preciousness of life and the deep, quiet satisfaction of having helped where she could. Her story redefines strength, showing that sometimes, facing the storm means simply refusing to be swept away, and in that steadfastness, influencing the person next to you to do the same. The final narrative presents perhaps the most literal and personal confrontation with destruction. A soldier's life is irrevocably altered by an explosive device. This storm is instantaneous and physical, shattering body and future in a moment. The ensuing battle is internal, a marathon of rehabilitation, adaptation, and mental fortitude against despair. The Goliath here is the totality of the injury and the shadow it casts over a life yet to be lived. The victory is measured in the regained ability to perform a simple task, in the resilience to rebuild an identity, and in the choice to find purpose anew. It is a raw testament to the human spirit's capacity to endure, to piece itself back together, and to discover that the core of who we are can survive even the most violent of tempests. Together, these diverse experiences weave a common thread. The spark of action is often lit in the darkest of places, in grief, in injustice, in trauma, or in sheer necessity. The path is never easy, marked by doubt, backlash, and fatigue. Yet, each story confirms that one person's decision to speak, to act, or to simply endure can create ripples that extend far beyond themselves. They teach us that we are all capable of becoming the storm, a force of change, truth, and resilience, when circumstances demand it. The power lies not in waiting for the skies to clear, but in learning to find your footing in the wind and the rain.